Hello guys, Scott here, and I got some molds to pour, and I thought I'd go ahead and turn the camera on to show you a little bit more on how I'm pouring them and how I'm getting them, the mold set up. Um, First I'll show you, not much to look at when they're all set up, but I'm using Legos obviously to build my boxes. And this is the big block Chevy engine that I've mastered and created. I ripped my original, so I need to make a new one. This time I put a little thicker wall around them. Hopefully it doesn't rip as easy. And I recently ordered some rubber, softer silicone rubber, to start pouring my own soft rubber tires. And I'm going to start by creating the mold of one side of an old plastic wrinkle wall M&H Racemaster from an old kit. This actually had left and right wrinkles. So what I'm doing is and it didn't have detail on the inside. So what I'm doing is going to cast one side, then I'll mold it in resin, and then sand it smooth, or sand it the back side down, and then join it onto the other side. That way I can make a two-sided wrinkle wall tire. And then I'd have to show you pictures of what I was doing here, but this is for the front seat on the 69 Nova build that I'm doing. It's a Revell Nova seat. I glued it together, and then I used pictures online to see how the actual seats are laid out, and they had a seam, a raised seam, that on the original kits it was just a groove, but I went and I bought some .015 round tubing, and I went and all the grooves that it was supposed to have a beading, and I glued in that round tube. Then I cleaned out some of the cracks on the sides to give it a little bit more of what it should be, two-piece seat. And that was a lot of work, and I didn't think I wanted to deal with doing it again. So what I'm doing is I'm making a resin copy so I can, make more of these. As much work as I'm putting in this kit, I think a lot of it, what I'm going to do is make molds of it so I can release a little bit more enhanced detail parts for those kits. And here is the back seat for that kit. Those kits, they have great interiors, but one thing they lacked in is the chassis and the transmission tunnel. They were separate. So what I'm doing is, I liked how the AMT's 70.5 Camaros were done, their interior and chassis. So I'm reworking that kit and the chassis and the interior to be like that kit. So here I molded the bottom of the interior in with the chassis, and I'm still not done with that, but that's going to be molded. And I've put the seat and I've glued it in with the package tray and the edges to line up with the side door panels, so I can make this, a separate own little back seat. And I've looked at that, and the beading, added the beading on the back seat too, because that needed a little extra help to give it a little more dimension. But that's what I got for molding right now. I didn't do a whole lot of calculations, so hopefully I can get all this stuff molded with 1 cup. I need to get more cups, because if I'm going to start doing big mold runs, I'm going to need a little bit more cups than that. So I guess first things first is I need to stir up my mold stuff. I finally went and splurged and bought the big gallon of mold material. I've been buying the trial packs, and that with the shipping on it, it's like $25 for a trial size, a couple pounds, 2 pounds, and then the big gallon, it's a little more expensive. It's like $80, but you're only paying shipping once, and it's pretty much the same shipping on the big stuff that it is with the trial packages. So I calculate it, and if you buy the gallon, you're getting an extra, 2 pounds from the trial, and then you're only paying shipping once as opposed to 4 or 5 times. The only thing I think I'm going to have a problem with is how I'm going to deal with pouring this out. And this is going to be a lot of crap to mix every time you want to do something. I don't know if it would be easier to pour this out into one of the other containers that I've emptied. Probably would be. That way I'm only doing it like I was before, but even that was kind of messy. So I guess I get to do a whole lot of stirring right now. Probably not much to watch. I've been wanting to make more videos and get more stuff done. I released some of my resin products, and I think that's what most people are going to be looking for, is how to build those guys. It kind of builds like a real life 1-to-1 engine, but it'd probably help for some people. I guess not everybody knows how an engine should go together. But it's been kind of overwhelming, the amount of stuff that I want to do for the community, to the point where I'm just end up sitting in front of my desk. Oh, okay, that's not good. Just staring at my computer or trying to figure out what I'm going to try and do. But I got so many parts loaded up. My goal was to be the next engine guy and give everybody, a decent engine for once. I tried doing casting a few years ago, but it got kind of messy, and the nagging wife at the time kind of pushed me out, and I quit for a while. But I noticed recently when I seen something about airbrushing, and it got me reinterested in it. I looked, and people still don't have a quality engine. They did have the Ross Gibson engines, but when I look at them, I'm like, that's, they can do better than that. Oh man, dust and dirt time. The castings, the pour, the fill areas, that they're not finishing them off. They're expecting people, the consumers, to sand stuff down and make them fit, and that's too risky, because it don't take much to screw up one of those and sand it cockeyed. So I knew it was, if you guys still didn't have anything, I needed to get myself back into it and show you guys what a quality resin part can look like. So I've been kind of going nuts with buying kits. I got so many kits now, and I've never actually built a model. I just been buying them and looking for, you know, decent parts in them to recast, and then buying, you know, part lots on eBay, which get kind of expensive, and but I got plenty to keep me busy for quite a while. And one thing I didn't want to do is just be another recaster, you know, a box stock recaster, because that's just a matter of, hey, whoever got the money to buy the kits, you know, can do it, you know. So I've been trying to clean stuff up and add as much detail as I can. It's easier for casters to add the detail than it is for model companies. We're not trying to do mass production. Alright, well, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to put this in separate containers. That's going to suck. Got that. Put the hardener. Oh, crap. I just thought of something. This stuff, I like this, the Mold Max 14NV. It says you don't have to degas it, but I was still getting little bumps on the parts from, it still has air pockets in the mold, and when you pressurize it, when you cast, those bubbles will collapse, and then your resin will fill into those cavities and give your parts, you know, little bumps all over it. So the last couple of times I did this, I went ahead and I degassed my mold material, and it was awesome. It works great. The only thing is I don't have a cup big enough to degas this much, because this stuff expands quite a bit. So I guess I gotta go look for another container. You don't want to get this stuff going and then look for materials. So I'll be right back.